A team of Israeli negotiators will travel to Qatar on Monday as mediators try to revive Gaza's ceasefire talks. Israel wants an extension to phase one, which Hamas has rejected. Families of Israeli captives still being held in Gaza have held weekly protests in Tel Aviv. They're calling on Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to start the second phase of the ceasefire deal and get their loved ones back home.
Netanyahu's interests are not the interests of the State of Israel or its people. The vast majority of the Israeli public wants all remaining hostages to be returned home immediately, and they are willing to pay the price for that.
Well, let's bring in our correspondent Tareq Azzoum. He's joining us live from Khan Younis in southern Gaza. So, Tareq, are people there welcoming the news that Israel will send a delegation to the Gaza ceasefire talks, given that Israel has blocked all humanitarian supplies from entering Gaza, all supplies indeed, for over a week now?
Yeah, that's right. The sudden Israeli step to cessate all sorts of humanitarian aid entry to the Gaza Strip has, in fact, Elizabeth, created a deep sense of uncertainty among Palestinians and brought grave implications that started to emerge recently in Gaza, specifically that it comes at a time when the Gaza Strip is already facing severe shortages of food, medicine and fuel that had led to further complication for the entire humanitarian crisis. We understand that the first phase of the agreement was designed to allow Palestinians to have a sense of respite and to offer them another window of relief, but this has not been yet successfully met in terms of the numbers of aid trucks that entered Gaza and the level of mitigation that practically took place on the ground during the first phase of the agreement. Now we can see that the civilians are relying on community networks in order to share scarce resources, and at the same time they right now started to feel the escalating crisis worsening. Yesterday, 6 central bakeries have suspended services for thousands of people in the city of Khan Younis. They are right now trying to secure the food items, despite all the skyrocketing prices, and aid organizations are still battling to continue providing services for a long-term manner in light of the ban of all aid entry, and in a time that aid trucks are still lined at the Egyptian side of the border waiting for an Israeli permission to access the Gaza Strip. This has been widely linked right now to the negotiations and any breakthrough that might take place in meetings that are taking place today in Cairo.
And Tareq, Hamas has said that it's positive. What are you hearing about what they've been doing? They've been in the Egyptian capital for a few days now.
Yes, that's right. Hamas has sent a delegation headed by its senior official Mohammed Darwish to carry out meetings with Egyptian and Qatari mediators in the Egyptian metropolis. Hamas, from its side, has welcomed the Arab plan that proposes the creation of an administrative committee of Palestinian technocrats that will govern Gaza and will oversee the flow of humanitarian aid entry to the Gaza Strip, which will be certainly supervised temporarily by the Palestinian Authority, despite the long-standing political rift with the PA. But it has been quite obvious that they have shown also their willingness to release more Israeli captives in return of releasing more Palestinian prisoners as a part of a comprehensive and a practical deal that will guarantee the transition to the second phase of the ceasefire agreement. We need to remind our viewers that Israel is looking for an extension for the first phase, and now they will send a diplomatic delegation to Cairo on Monday to address this concern regarding Gaza after following signs of positive signals from Hamas in talks with Egyptian and Qatari mediators about this concern.
Tareq, thank you very much for that. Tareq Azzoum, live in Khan Younis in southern Gaza.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.